The private jet cost $55 million. The single father's plane ticket cost just $110. One man traveled like a king, the other traveled like an ordinary passenger with a worn-out suitcase and a little girl holding his hand. They had absolutely nothing in common. They didn't know each other. They weren't supposed to meet. And yet, by the end of that day, the CEO of one of the world's most powerful companies would be standing in front of that single father with tears in her eyes, asking him for something money could never buy. His help. His trust. And perhaps, a second chance at life. But before we get there, let me take you back to the morning when two completely different worlds started moving toward the exact same destination. At 5:15 in the morning, Daniel Carter stood inside his tiny kitchen, quietly making pancakes for his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. The apartment was small, the furniture was old, and the kitchen table had a scratch running across the middle that Daniel had promised himself he would repair one day. But he never seemed to find the time. "Daddy, are we really flying today?" Lily asked, sitting on the counter with her feet swinging back and forth. Daniel smiled. "We really are. On a big airplane? Big enough for you to look out the window." Lily's eyes brightened. For the first time in months, Daniel had something to look forward to. He had been raising Lily alone since her mother passed away 3 years earlier. Since then, life had become a long list of responsibilities, school fees, groceries, rent, repairs, and endless work. Daniel had once been a talented mechanical engineer. He had worked for a major technology company and had been on a promising career path. But after his wife's death, he had taken time off to care for Lily. When he returned, his position was gone. He never complained. Instead, he took whatever work he could find. Some days he repaired machines. Other days he delivered packages. At night, he studied engineering designs and business reports on an old laptop after Lily went to sleep. Now, after months of applications, he had finally been invited to an interview in another city. The job could change everything. The salary was better than anything he had earned in years. But Daniel wasn't thinking about the salary. He was thinking about Lily. He wanted her to have a home where she didn't have to worry every time the electricity bill arrived. After breakfast, Daniel checked the old clock on the wall. "We need to go." Lily grabbed her little backpack. "Daddy?" "Yes?" "Do you think Mommy would be proud of you?" Daniel froze for half a second. Then he smiled through the emotion in his eyes. "I think she already is." Across the city, at almost the exact same moment, a completely different morning was beginning. Sophia Reynolds, the 38-year-old CEO of Reynolds Global, stepped into the lobby of a private airport. She wore a perfectly tailored black suit, carried a leather briefcase, and had 2 assistants walking behind her. A private jet waited on the runway. Not just any private jet. It was a $55 million aircraft equipped with bedrooms, a private office, a dining room, satellite communications, and everything a billionaire executive could possibly need. Sophia had chartered it because she had less than 12 hours to reach the same city where Daniel was heading. Her company was facing the biggest crisis in its history. A major international deal was about to collapse. If Sophia couldn't close the agreement by evening, thousands of employees could lose their jobs. Her assistant, Marcus, hurried beside her. "Ms. Reynolds, the legal team is already waiting." "I know. And the board wants an update before noon." "I know, Marcus." He hesitated. "You haven't slept." Sophia stopped. "I'll sleep when this is over." She climbed the stairs into the jet. Minutes later, the engines roared. The $55 million aircraft lifted into the morning sky. Meanwhile, Daniel and Lily were standing in a crowded airport security line. Lily looked around at all the people. "Daddy, where's our private jet?" Daniel laughed. "We don't have one." "Why?" Because ours is the one with about 200 strangers. Lily giggled. Their ticket had cost $110. Daniel had searched for the cheapest flight available. He had counted every dollar. After buying the tickets, he had exactly $43 left in his wallet. As they boarded, Lily looked through the airplane window. Wow! Daniel watched her face light up. That moment alone was worth every sacrifice. The commercial plane took off. 2 aircraft were now flying toward the same city. One carried a CEO surrounded by luxury. The other carried a single father and his daughter. Neither knew how important the other would become. About an hour into Sophia's flight, her assistant entered the private cabin. "Ms. Reynolds, we have a problem." Sophia looked up from her laptop. "What kind?" "The engineering report just came in." He handed her a tablet. Sophia read it. Her expression changed. "That can't be right." It was confirmed twice. Sophia stood. "If that report is accurate, the entire project is compromised." Marcus nodded. "And there's something else." "What?" "The lead engineer who originally designed the system has resigned." Sophia stared at the screen. "Why?" "He says the company ignored his warnings." Sophia slowly sat down. For months, she had believed the problem was financial. Now she realized it was technical. And if the technical problem couldn't be solved, money wouldn't matter. She needed someone who understood the system from the inside. Someone brilliant. Someone who knew exactly where things had gone wrong. But that person was no longer with the company. Back on the commercial flight, Daniel was looking at his old laptop. He had opened a technical document he had been studying for weeks. Lily leaned against his shoulder. "Daddy, are you working?" "A little." "You always work." Daniel closed the laptop. "You know what?" "What?" "Today, I'm just your dad." Lily smiled. "Good." Then suddenly the plane shook. A wave of turbulence passed through the cabin. Several passengers gasped. Daniel immediately reached for Lily. "Hey, look at me." She grabbed his hand. "Is something wrong?" "No. Just turbulence." Daniel kept his voice calm. "Remember what I told you?" "What?" "Airplanes can shake without falling." Lily nodded. She held his hand tighter. Daniel smiled. "I've got you." After a few minutes, the plane stabilized. But Daniel noticed an elderly passenger across the aisle struggling to breathe. He immediately pressed the call button. A flight attendant came over. Daniel helped clear the space around the passenger. "Do you need medical assistance?" he asked. The man nodded. Daniel stayed beside him until the crew took over. He didn't know it at the time, but someone had been watching. A young woman sitting several rows away had noticed everything. She quietly took out her phone. She sent a message. "Found him." Meanwhile, Sophia's private jet was approaching the destination. Her phone rang. It was the chairman of the board. "Sophia, you need to understand something. If you fail today, the board will vote tonight." "I understand. We may have to remove you." Sophia closed her eyes. "I'll fix it. You have 6 hours." The call ended. Sophia stared out the window. For the first time in years, she felt completely alone. Her company had millions of dollars. Thousands of employees. Dozens of executives. But the person she needed most was gone. The private jet landed first. Sophia stepped onto the runway. Black SUVs were waiting. Her team rushed toward her. "We have the conference room ready." Sophia nodded. "Let's go." At almost the same time, Daniel's commercial flight landed at another terminal of the same airport. Daniel and Lily walked through the terminal. Daniel checked his watch. He had 40 minutes before his interview. "Come on, Lily." They hurried through the airport. Then Lily suddenly stopped. "Daddy." Daniel turned. "What?" She pointed toward the other side of the terminal. A little boy had dropped his toy car. Lily ran over and picked it up. The boy smiled. "Thank you." Daniel smiled at his daughter. "You have a good heart." Lily shrugged. "Mommy said we should help people." Daniel's smile faded slightly. He looked away. Then something unexpected happened. As Daniel walked toward the exit, he saw a woman standing near a security checkpoint. She looked familiar. But he couldn't place her. Sophia Reynolds. He had seen her picture online. The CEO of Reynolds Global. Daniel didn't know why she was there. And Sophia didn't notice him. Not yet. Daniel continued walking. Then his phone rang. It was the company where he was interviewing. "Mr. Carter?" "Yes." "We're sorry, but we need to postpone your interview." Daniel stopped. "Postpone?" "Yes. There's been an emergency." Daniel looked at Lily. "Can you tell me when?" "We're not sure." Daniel closed his eyes. "After everything. After the flight. After the money. After the weeks of preparation." The opportunity was disappearing. He forced himself to stay calm. "Thank you for letting me know." He ended the call. Lily looked up. "Daddy?" Daniel smiled. "It's okay." But his eyes said something different. Then Sophia walked past him. Her assistant was talking quickly. "We need the engineering data before the board meeting." Daniel heard the words. "Engineering data." He turned. "Excuse me." Sophia stopped. Daniel looked at her assistant. "Did you say engineering data?" The assistant looked annoyed. "Yes." Daniel hesitated. "I may be able to help." Sophia turned toward him. She looked at his old jacket. His worn travel bag. His young daughter. Then she looked back at her assistant. Marcus almost laughed. "Sir, this is a very serious corporate issue." Daniel nodded. "I understand. You're an engineer?" "I was." Sophia studied him. "What does that mean?" Daniel looked down for a moment. "It means I haven't worked in the industry for a while." Sophia was about to walk away. Then Daniel said something that made her stop. "The problem isn't the software." Sophia turned around. "What did you say?" Daniel pointed toward the tablet in Marcus's hand. "The error you're seeing is a symptom." Everyone went silent. Sophia walked closer. "How would you know?" "Because I recognize the system." Marcus stared at him. "That's impossible." Daniel looked at Sophia. "I helped design an earlier version." Sophia's eyes widened. "What is your name?" "Daniel Carter." Sophia froze. Marcus immediately looked at his phone. Then his face changed. "Ms. Reynolds." "What?" He whispered. "He's the engineer who resigned 3 years ago." Sophia stared at Daniel. "You?" Daniel nodded. "I was the one who warned the company about the exact failure you're facing." Silence. Sophia suddenly understood. The person she had been searching for had walked into her airport carrying a $110 plane ticket. Not a consultant. Not a billionaire. Not an executive. A single father. A man she had almost ignored. Sophia looked at him. "Can you fix it?" Daniel hesitated. "I can try." "Then come with me." Daniel looked at Lily. I have my daughter. Sophia looked at the little girl. Bring her. They entered the executive conference room. The board members were already waiting. One of them looked annoyed. Who is this? Sophia answered. The man who might save this company. Daniel opened the technical files. For the next hour, he worked. He found the problem. Then another. Then another. The room slowly became silent. Daniel explained everything in simple terms. The executives were stunned. Finally, he leaned back. I know what needs to be done. Sophia looked at him. How long? If your team cooperates? Tell me. 4 hours. The chairman looked shocked. You're saying you can solve a problem our engineers couldn't solve in months? Daniel looked at him. No. Everyone waited. I'm saying I know where to start. 4 hours later, the system was running again. The crisis was over. The board members sat speechless. Sophia walked toward Daniel. You saved my company. Daniel shook his head. No. He looked at Lily. I just fixed a problem. Sophia smiled. You did more than that. Then she asked the question nobody expected. Why did you leave the company? Daniel looked down. Because my wife died. The room became silent. I had a daughter who needed her father. Sophia's eyes filled with tears. Daniel continued. I thought I was choosing between my career and my child. He looked at Lily. I chose her. Sophia looked at the little girl. Then she whispered. You made the right choice. Daniel smiled. I know. Sophia reached into her briefcase. She pulled out a document. Daniel looked confused. What is that? A job offer. Daniel shook his head. I don't want charity. Sophia smiled. It isn't charity. She placed the document on the table. I want you to become the head of engineering innovation. Daniel stared at her. You'd hire me after everything? Sophia nodded. I'd hire you because of everything. Daniel looked at Lily. She whispered. Daddy, take it. He laughed. Sophia laughed too. Then Daniel asked. Why me? Sophia looked at him. Because today I learned something. What? A $55 million jet can get you to a destination faster. She looked toward the airport window. But it can't make you a better person. Daniel smiled. And a $110 flight? Sophia smiled back. Apparently, it can take you to exactly where you're supposed to be. Months later, Daniel and Lily moved into a better apartment. Daniel started his new job. But he never forgot where he came from. He created a program inside the company to help talented parents who had left their careers because of family responsibilities. Sophia supported it. And something unexpected happened. The company began hiring hundreds of people who had once believed their careers were over. Daniel became successful again. But success didn't change him. Every morning, he still made breakfast for Lily. Every evening, he still asked about her day. And every time he traveled for work, he chose a normal commercial flight whenever possible. One day, Lily asked him, Daddy, why don't we take a private jet? Daniel smiled. Because sometimes the most important journeys aren't about how much you spend. She looked confused. Then what are they about? Daniel held her hand. Who you become along the way. And perhaps that was the real lesson of that strange day. The CEO spent millions trying to control her journey. The single father spent only $110 trying to reach an interview that never even happened. Yet both landed in the same place. Not just an airport.